Hey everyone, I just am wondering, Scott Wilson, I just forwarded him the invite. Sorry for everyone's info, he's our new planner, planner one, but I just don't see him on the list here. He thinks he's in, thinks he's waiting. Oh, okay, Juan is dealing with it. Okay, thanks, Juan.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call to order the December 9th, 2021 hearing of the Guelph Committee of Adjustment. Committee members, staff, and applicants are attending this electronic hearing remotely. This hearing is being held remotely due to the COVID-19 pandemic and is being live streamed and recorded. Please be advised that public hearings form part of the public record and the words, names, or images of those participating excuse me, will be recorded and posted online. Before we proceed, I'd like to ask the Secretary Treasurer to confirm attendance of the committee members by roll call.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will note that Member Dykstra has sent regrets in advance of today's hearing. I'm also pleased to announce that Guelph City Council appointed Keith Hamilton as a new member to the committee, and he is joining us here today. So committee members, I'll be now reading your names out loud. If you could please respond if you're present. Chair Ash.
Present.
Member Allison.
Present.
Member Hamilton.
Present.
Member Kendrick.
Present.
Member Meads.
Present.
And Member Smith.
Present.
Thank you, Chair. We have quorum.
Thank you very much, and welcome, Keith. Okay, before I outline the hearing format, I wanted to make note that the agenda for this hearing has been posted online at guelph.ca/C of A. If you want to follow along, please feel free to access it now. I will remind all committee members and staff participating in the hearing to please mute your microphones when not in use to reduce feedback. Applicants will be unmuted when their application is called by the Secretary Treasurer. I'd also like to share the hearing format we will be using to navigate through each application. Each application will be called by the Secretary Treasurer, and the applicant will be given an opportunity to add anything further to their application to a maximum of 10 minutes. If you are an applicant and have nothing further to add, then you can simply say so. The committee will then be able to ask questions to the applicant or staff. After that, we will hear from members of the public who wish to comment on the application. Please note that all comments should be addressed through the chair. Please avoid repeating concerns already stated by others and focus on adding new information. Comments are limited to 10 minutes or less. Any members of the public who have submitted a request to speak prior to the hearing will be the first invited to provide comments. I've confirmed with the Secretary Treasurer that we have not received any delegation requests in advance of today's hearing. If you wish to speak to an application and have not submitted a request in advance of the hearing, you will still be given an opportunity to speak by calling 519-822-1260 extension 2524, and you will receive instructions on how to participate. For each application, following the committee members' questions to the applicant or staff, and if no members of the public who have registered to speak in advance, we will take a brief 3-minute break to display the call-in number for any residents wishing to call in. Once all comments from the public have been heard, the applicant or staff will be given the opportunity to respond to comments. Finally, I'll turn to the committee for a motion and deliberation, as well as a vote on the application. As this hearing is being held remotely, there are some procedural changes regarding how the committee will vote. When the committee is making a decision on an application, I will be asking the Secretary Treasurer to conduct the vote by roll call. The Secretary Treasurer will call each of the members' names, and each member will respond if they are in favor or opposed to the motion. And I will announce the result of the quote. If you wish to receive a copy of the decision on an application, including information about the appeal procedure, you must submit a written request. A written request can be made by contacting staff using the contact information shown on the screen. To receive a copy of the decision, please email cofa@guelph.ca with your name and the file number you are interested in. Please note that owners and applicants automatically receive a copy of the decision. If there are technical issues during the hearing and quorum is lost, the hearing will be recessed. If the technical issues cannot be resolved or quorum cannot be obtained, applications that have not been heard by the committee will be deferred to a later hearing date. First Nations Acknowledgement. As we gather, we are reminded that Guelph is situated on treaty land that is steeped in rich Indigenous history and home to many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people today. As a city, we have a responsibility for the stewardship of the land on which we live and work. Today, we acknowledge the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation of the Anishinaabe peoples, whose traditional territory we are meeting. Committee members, are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? If so, please raise your hand. I don't see any. Thank you. Can I get members to move and second approval of the minutes from the previous hearing on November 10th? If so, please raise your hand. Okay, moved by Member Smith, seconded by Member Kendrick. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please raise your hand. Okay, that is carried. I've confirmed with the Secretary Treasurer that we have received a deferral request, and I'll turn it over to her.
Thank you, Chair. I can confirm that we have received a deferral request from the agent for file A-55/21 for 14 O'Connor Lane in response to discussions with planning staff regarding possible revisions to the application. I believe the applicants, Courtney and Brent Butler, are in attendance should the committee require any clarification, but I'll now turn it over to the Chair for a deferral motion on this application.
Thank you. Can we get a motion for deferral? Member Smith?
Sorry. Wasn't the technology, it was my brain. I wasn't mute. I was muted still. I would like to move to defer this as per the applicant's request.
Thank you very much. Do we have a seconder? Okay, Member Meads. There's no discussion. Oh, do you want to do the Secretary Treasurer or?
Chair Ash, we can just do a vote by raise of hands. That's
Okay,
fine.
thank you very much. All those in favor of the deferral? Okay, the application's been deferred. Thank you very much.
The first application is file A-52/21. Variance to permit reduced side yard setback for proposed second-story residential addition at 143 London Road West.
And I'd like to ask if the applicant is present. If so, can you please state your name and your relationship to the application?
I am present. My name is Kieran Patolo Graff, and I am the owner of the home in question.
Thank you very much. Just a couple of questions. Was the sign posted as per the Planning Act requirements?
Yes, it was.
Did you receive comments and do you have any concerns with the recommendations or do you accept the conditions?
I do.
Okay, do you wish to add anything further to your application?
I do not.
Okay, thank you very much. Committee members, do you have any questions of the applicant and or staff? I don't see any hands up. Okay. If there are no further questions, I'll ask for comments from members of the public. As noted at the start of the hearing, we have not received any requests from the public to speak to this application in advance of the hearing. Before moving into debate and discussion, we'll take a 3-minute break so any members of the public watching from home who wish to speak this application can call in. I'd ask that all hearing participants ensure that your microphones are muted during the break.
Chair Ash, I can confirm that we didn't receive any delegation requests.
Thank you very much. Committee members, any last questions from staff or the applicant? If not, we will now begin to discuss the application and make a decision. Committee members, do you wish to make a motion? If so, please raise your hand. Member Kendrick.
Move approval with condition.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Member Allison. Okay, so we have a recommendation for approval with a condition, and I will now turn it over to the Secretary Treasurer for a vote by roll call.
Thank you, Chair. Committee members, please indicate your vote by responding in favor or opposed to the motion, which is to approve with one condition. Chair Ash,
In favor?
Member Allison,
In favor?
Member Hamilton,
In favor.
Member Kendrick,
In favor.
Member Meads,
In favor.
and Member Smith.
In favor?
Thank you, Chair. That's carried.
Thank you very much. Your application has been approved with the one condition. And for the applicant, I'll remind you that you're free to leave the hearing if you wish to do so. And a reminder for those watching, if you wish to receive a copy of the decision on an application, including information about the appeal procedures, you must submit a written request by emailing cofa@guelph.ca with your name and the file number you are interested in. Please note that owners and applicants automatically receive a copy of the decision.
Oh, meeting.
The next application is file A-53/21, variance to permit a reduction in off-street parking spaces for 221 to 223 Woodlawn Road West.
Thank you very much. I'd like to ask if the applicant is present. If so, can you please state your name and your relationship to the application?
Yes, hello, my name is Gary Smith. I'm from GL Smith Planning Design, and we're the consultants that were hired from we're the owner of the property.
Thank you very much. Just a couple of questions for you. Was a sign posted on the property as per the Planning Act requirements?
Yes,
Did you receive comments, staff comments, and do you have any concerns with them?
no, not at all.
Okay, do you wish to add anything further?
Not really, nope, everything's good.
Okay, thank you very much. Committee members, do you have any questions for the applicant or staff? If so, please raise your hand. Seeing none, thank you. If there are no further, or if there aren't any questions, we will seek comments from members of the public. As noted at the start of the hearing, we have not received any requests from the public to speak to this application in advance of the hearing. Before moving into debate and discussion, we will take a 3-minute break, so members from the public watching from home who wish to speak to this application can call in. I'd ask that all hearing participants ensure that your microphones are muted during the break. Thank you.
Chair Ash, I can confirm that we didn't receive any delegation requests.
Thank you very much. The committee will now begin to discuss the application and make a decision. Committee members, do you wish to make a motion? If so, please raise your hand. Member Kendrick,
Move approval.
are there any conditions?
No, there are not.
Thank you. Okay, do I have a seconder? Yes, Member Meads. Okay, and I'll turn it over to the Secretary Treasurer for a vote by roll call.
Thank you, Chair. Committee members, please indicate your vote by responding in favor or opposed to the motion, which is to approve the application. Chair Ash,
In favor?
Member Allison,
Favor?
Member Hamilton,
In favor?
Member Kendrick,
In favor?
Member Meads,
In favor?
and Member Smith.
In favor?
Thank you, Chair. That's carried.
Thank you very much. Your application has been approved. And for the applicant, I'll remind you that you're free to leave the hearing if you wish. And a reminder for those watching, if you wish to receive a copy of the decision on an application, including information about the appeal procedures, you must submit a written request by emailing cofA@guelph.ca with your name and the file number you are interested in. Please note that owners and applicants automatically receive a copy of the decision.
The next application is file A-56/21. Variances to permit additional use, daycare center, and associated outdoor amenity area for 160 Research Lane. I'll also note for the committee members as well as those attending is that we did receive comments after the comment deadline from R. Hurst on behalf of the Ontario Agribusiness Association with concerns about the application. And those comments were circulated to the committee members as well as the applicant.
Thank you very much. I'd like to ask if the applicant is present. If so, can you please state your name and your relationship to the application?
Yes, Vladislav Perstok from Lighthouse Montessori Canada Inc., the daycare provider. And I'm also here with Michael Belnar from RunLab Properties 160 Inc., the owner of the property. And we are acting on behalf of University of Guelph.
Thank you very much. Just a couple of questions for you. Was the sign posted on the property as per the Planning Act requirements?
Yes, it was in line with requirements.
And did you receive staff comments?
Yes, we did.
Any concerns with the recommended conditions?
No.
Okay. Do you wish to add anything further to your application?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. Committee members, do you have any questions for the applicant or for staff? Yes, Member Smith.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to staff, I'm just curious, given the comments that we received late from the Ontario I'm not sure the exact title of their organization, but the comments received are also tenants, and I was curious if, in staff's professional opinion, that the use that's proposed would be considered minor in nature in terms of the change of use.
To Member Smith, through the chair. It is planning staff opinion that yes, it is a minor use addition to the existing zone, specialized zone. In the parent zone, the use is compatible and permitted together with office and research uses. Thank you.
Member Allison.
Sorry, I just had
sorry.
a further follow-up. So given that this is accepted use under the parent of the zoning, then there's really no issue in terms of this being an expansion or rezoning by any other means.
Yes, through the chair, yes, that is the case. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Member Allison.
Yes, through the chair. I just a couple of questions to the applicant and perhaps to planning too. So am I correct in when I'm looking at the sketches that the outdoor amenity area is 100 plus square meters, and also that there's 72 estimated 72 children who will be attending? I guess this is to
Correct.
the applicant.
Correct. Yes, that's exactly the information that we are going to apply.
Okay, so a follow-up to that is I'm wondering, and staff, do you feel that that outdoor amenity area is large enough? The Ministry of Education requires 5.6 square meters per child. I realize they would not all be out there at the same time, but it does seem kind of small.
So basically, the ministry requirements allows us to do the rotation of our children outside during the play time, play outdoor time. So that's why with the 4 classrooms that we are planning to locate in the building, we will be able to do the rotation with half by half.
Okay. And there was a further question here. And also to staff, this specifically states, just to confirm for me, that the bylaw requirements permits a variety of uses, but does not permit a daycare center.
Yeah, through the chair to member Allison, that is the case. This is a specialized zone that for whatever reason, when the zoning was done, just specific uses were allowed and listed as permitted uses within the zone. We find this in a lot of specialized zones throughout the city. They're very scoped, and that's the purpose of the minor variance, to bring it forward as it's in the parent zone. So that is why staff considers it to be an appropriate minor variance.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from, yes, member Hamilton?
Just a quick question for staff. Just speaking to the other test, whether it's desirable for the appropriate development or use of land or the building structure, just the comments from the Agribusiness Association mentioned noise and increased traffic, and I'm just wondering if staff had any comment on that as appeals to it being desirable for the location.
Yes, thanks for the question. So we already provided the clarification to the tenants with the letter explaining how we're gonna organize the drop off and pick up time in order to minimize the any noise and the disturbing of other tenants. So we're gonna have the specific designated area, and the drop off and pick up time maximum during the day will be 30 minutes, 15 minutes in the morning and 15 in the afternoon. Plus there is no direct connections and entrance for other tenants. So we're gonna utilize our separate entrances from the building, which will minimize or even eliminate any contact with other tenants.
And through the chair to member Hamilton, first I'll start with the parking concern or driving concern that was noted by the letter. Adequate parking as per zoning is provided on the property. There's a flow that goes around the building. The zoning does dictate the parking requirements, and they are met. And in terms of compatible uses, there are this zone, the parent zone, and other zones do permit offices and daycares to be compatible use together in the multi-unit buildings and properties. So planning staff is satisfied that it is compatible. Thank you.
Thank you. I do have one question to the applicant. What are the typical hours of operation for a daycare in terms of dropping off and picking up?
So it's gonna be from 8:30 till 5 p.m.
8:30 to 5 p.m. Okay, so I just noticed this letter sort of indicates 8:30 to 9 and 3 to 3:30. So, and I know myself in dropping off my kids that
So
usually you
basically,
pick
there is a drop off and pick up time of the kids, but there is also extension of the time for the staff because they also have to complete their work after the daycare time.
Yeah, okay. Because my understanding is the pickup time is usually later than 3 or 3:30 for those parents that are working. So,
Yes, exactly.
yeah, okay, thank you.
There is extended time. So there is a normal time till 3:30, and there is extended care for an extra time if parents prefer to do this.
Okay, thank you very much. Any further questions for the applicant or staff? No? Okay. And so at this point, I have to be reminded, we will turn it over to the public to hear comments from them. So we will take a 3-minute break so that members of the public watching from home who wish to speak to this application can call in. I'd ask that all hearing participants ensure your microphones are muted during the break. Thank you.
Chair Ash, I can confirm that we didn't receive any delegation requests.
Thank you very much. Committee members, any last questions? Yes. Oh, member Meads.
I was gonna make a motion.
Oh, you're jumping ahead. Okay, well, if we don't have any further questions, go ahead, please. Member Meads.
I'll make a motion for approval with the recommended conditions.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Member Smith. So we have a motion on the table moved by Member Mead, seconded by Member Smith to approve the application with conditions. I'll now turn it over to the Secretary Treasurer for roll call. Oh, wait, sorry. There should be discussion on the motion. Is there any discussion? Okay, I will now turn it over. Oh, Member Allison.
Just I don't feel, I will be opposed to this application because I don't feel it meets all of the 4 tests.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other discussion on it? Yes, Member Smith.
Sorry. I just through you, Chair, to Member Allison. Is there one in particular that you're not, or is it all of them, or I just would like
Almost all of them. Yeah. Through the chair to Member Smith, I feel it doesn't maintain the intent of the zoning bylaw. It doesn't seem particularly desirable for the development of the land, and I'm not convinced it's minor in nature.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other further comments? Seeing none, I will turn it over to the Secretary Treasurer to vote by roll call.
Committee members, please indicate your vote by responding in favor or opposed to the motion, which is to approve with the recommended condition. Chair Ash.
In favor?
Member Allison.
Opposed?
Member Hamilton.
Favor.
Member Kendrick.
In favor?
Member Meads.
In favor?
And Member Smith.
In favor?
That's carried, Chair.
Thank you very much. Your application has been approved and you're free to leave the hearing if you wish. And a reminder for those watching at home, if you wish to receive a decision on an application, including information about the appeal procedures, you must submit a written request by emailing cofA@guelph.ca with your name and the file number you are interested in. Please note that owners and applicants automatically receive a copy of the decision.
The next application is file A-57/21, variances for reduced front and side yard setbacks for proposed residential additions at 204 Liverpool Street.
Thank you very much. And is the applicant present? And can you please, if so, can you please state your name in relationship to the application?
Yes, hello, my name is Kelly Wilson. Excuse me. I'm the architectural designer for this project and acting as agent on behalf of the homeowners.
Thank you very much. Just a couple of questions for you. Was the sign posted on the property as per the Planning Act requirements?
It was.
And did you receive staff comments?
Yes.
Any concerns or comments with the conditions?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. Anything further you wish to add to your application?
I just have a couple quick comments. Just wanted to reiterate that the setbacks we're requesting are no less than what's currently existing on the property. For the small rear addition, there's no windows on the side, and we designed it with a very modest shed roof to minimize the impact on the neighbor on the close side. And then the addition on the front, on on paper, it shows as a front porch, and once upon a time, it probably was an open front porch, but it has been enclosed for a long time. So functionally, we're not really proposing much of a change. We just want to rebuild it to remedy the structural issues and make it look a little nicer from the front. We also saw the comment from Heritage about the position of the front door. So that's something that I'll definitely be discussing with the homeowners prior to submitting our final set of drawings for the building permit.
Thank you very much. Committee members, do you have any questions for the applicant and or staff? Yes, Member Smith.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to the applicant. Thanks for your application and your attendance. I just want to circle back on your comment about Heritage. Have you met with the Heritage Planner, Stephen Robinson, and will you be following up with Heritage?
We haven't met with Heritage. I wasn't planning to, based on the comments that it was a recommendation but not a requirement on regarding the front door, so hadn't planned on it.
Through you, Chair, to the applicant. So does that mean you're going to just accept the comments, or you're not going to enter? You're going to accept them and not enter into any more further discussions?
I'm planning to have the discussion with the homeowners to see if they are open to adjusting the design to moving the door back over to the side, and ultimately, I guess, leaving the decision up to them.
Would that have any impacts to your either your structural mitigations or any of the other impacts, either structurally or to the floor plan?
No, that it won't impact anything else in the design.
So if I take your comments, then essentially complying with Heritage would be a minor effort on your and your client's part.
Yeah, I mean, it would be, yeah. I would say that's correct.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you, Chair.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And I'd just like to ask the applicant, I guess, would you be okay with a condition that required the relocation of that front door?
I mean, my understanding is that it's not a requirement of Heritage, so I'm not sure why that would appear as a condition. They don't really, you know, it was a recommendation, but they don't have a jurisdiction to make those kinds of requirements on this property. So I would rather it not appear as a condition, I suppose.
Staff, do you have any comment with respect to this?
Yeah.
I mean, if
through you,
there's
Chair.
a comment made by staff and it's not to be implemented, then we expect to see something in the staff report that counteracts that request. So staff, can you comment?
Yes, to you, Chair. It was friendly advice from the Heritage planners. It is not a listed property. It's not a designated property. So it was friendly advice from our Heritage staff.
So there's no requirement to include that as a condition?
There's not, no.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for committee members? I have one last question to the applicant. You indicated that there's no windows on that addition. No windows being, would you be acceptable to having that as a condition? No windows on the addition?
On the rear addition, yeah, we're not proposing any windows on the rear addition based on how close it is to the side yard, the side property line. I'm I don't even think that there would be windows permitted based on the building code.
Yeah.
So definitely there won't be any windows there.
Right. Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to cover all those bases.
Yep.
Committee members, any other questions for the applicant or staff? No? Okay. If there's nothing further, then we will ask for comments from members of the public. As noted at the start of the hearing, we have not received any requests from the public to speak to this application in advance of the hearing. So before moving into debate and discussion, we will take a 3-minute break. So members watching from home can call in. I'd ask that all hearing participants ensure that your microphones are muted during the break. Thank you.
Chair Ash, I can confirm that we didn't receive any delegation requests.
Thank you very much. Committee members, any last questions for the applicant or staff? Seeing no hands, okay. We will now begin to discuss the application and make a decision. Committee members, do you wish to make a motion? If so, please raise your hand. Member Kendrick.
Move approval with the conditions that are shown, I think, if there are conditions shown. Yes, with
Yes,
the
there are.
conditions that are shown.
Thank you. Okay, do we have a seconder? Thank you, Member Hamilton. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I will turn it over to the Secretary Treasurer for a vote by roll call. We do have an approval with 2 conditions as noted in the staff report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Committee members, please indicate your vote by responding in favor or opposed to the motion, which is to approve the application with the 2 recommended conditions. Chair Ash,
In favor?
Member Allison,
In favor?
Member Hamilton,
In favor.
Member Kendrick,
In favor?
Member Meads,
In favor.
and Member Smith.
In favor?
Thank you, committee members. Chair, that's carried.
Thank you very much. Your application has been approved with the 2 conditions, and you are free to leave the hearing if you wish. And a reminder for those watching, if you wish to receive a copy of the decision on an application, including information about the appeal procedures, you must submit a written request by emailing cla@guelph.ca with your name and the file number you're interested in. Please note that owners and applicants automatically receive a copy of the decision.
The last application is file B-25/21, consent for technical severance to reestablish original lot lines at 14 and 18 Cambridge Street.
Thank you. I'd like to ask if the applicant is present. If so, can you please state your name and your relationship to the application?
Jeff Buseman at Van Herten Surveying. I'm an agent for the property owner.
Thank you very much. Good to see you.
Yes, you too.
And was the sign posted as per the Planning Act requirements?
Yes, it was.
Did you receive staff comments?
Yes.
Any concerns with the conditions?
No concerns with the conditions.
Great.
It's a bit, yeah, just really simple. The 2 parcels merged and we're unmerging them.
Thank you. I guess that's your presentation.
Yeah, I don't think that much more is needed. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Good, super. Thank you very much. Committee members, do you have any questions for the applicant or staff? Please raise your hand. Member Smith.
So this isn't a technical, this is a technical issue. There's really nothing. There's no there, I guess, is my question.
Okay, thank you. No other questions? Okay. If there's no further questions, I'll ask for comments from the public. And as stated at the beginning of the hearing, we have not received any delegations to speak. Before moving to debate and discussion, we will take a 3-minute break so those watching can call in. I'd ask that all hearing participants ensure that your microphones are muted during the break.
Chair Ash, I can confirm that we didn't receive any delegation requests.
Thank you very much. Okay, committee members, any last questions of the applicant or staff moving forward? Seeing no hands, can we get a motion? We will begin to discuss the application, make a decision. Okay, Member Smith.
Move approval with the listed recommended conditions.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Member Allison? Thank you. Discussion on the motion. Seeing none, I will turn it over to the Secretary Treasurer for a vote by roll call. We have a approval or recommended approval on the table with the listed conditions. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Committee members, please indicate your vote by responding in favor or opposed to the motion, which is to approve the application with the 4 recommended conditions. Chair Ash?
In favor?
Member Allison?
In favor?
Member Hamilton?
In favor.
Member Kendrick?
In favor?
Member Meads?
In favor.
And Member Smith.
In favor?
That's unanimous and carried, Chair.
Thank you very much. Mr. Buseman, your application has been approved. Thank you very much, and you are free to go.
Thank you very
if
much.
you wish. And for those watching at home, if you wish to receive a copy of the decision on an application, including information about the appeal procedures, you must submit a written request by emailing cofA@guelph.ca with your name and the file number you're interested in. Please note that owners and applicants automatically receive a copy of the decision. And that's the end of our applications. Staff announcements. The Secretary Treasurer has a few announcements to make. I'll turn it over to her. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. There are 2 brief announcements. First is regarding the member vacancy. As mentioned at the start of the hearing, Member Hamilton has been appointed as a new member to the committee. And as you may recall, that vacancy was to fill the position left due to a member resignation. So a warm welcome to him as he's attending his first hearing as part of the committee. So welcome, Member Hamilton. And second, I just wanted to quickly remind members that the annual election of the chair and vice chair positions will be taking place at the next hearing on January 13th. And that was all the announcements.
Carrie, you're muted.
My goodness. Okay, twice I'm muted. I'm sorry. Can I get people to, we have a mover and a seconder to adjourn the meeting. Moved by Member Smith, seconded by Member Allison. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay. You can mute yourselves now. Bye.
Thank you, Chair.
Merry Christmas to all.
Oh, yes, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
To everyone. And
Happy
thank
holidays.
you, staff. Thank you, staff, again for working under these conditions. Much appreciated.
Yes, it's been an amazing year. So thank you very much.
Yes.
Well done.
And welcome, Keith.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Seconded.
Thanks.
And also welcome Scott, our new planner as well.
Oh,
You'll be
yes.
seeing him.
Welcome,
yes.
Scott.
Scott.
Mhm.
Hi there. Yeah, this was my first meeting, so it's been a pleasure. You know, I was hoping for some questions, but I'm happy I wasn't grilled. So
Next time.
next time, yeah, don't hold back.
Very good. Okay. Thank you so much, guys.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye
Merry
now.
Christmas. Yep.
Night. Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.